There are people out there that believe that there is a face in the fist on the original Halloween poster. If that is true, I might have an idea of whose face that belongs to. It's a fucking shit show! What you think you see, what you think you hear, that's what it's about. Mood and atmosphere. No, it's fucking garbage. It's garbage. Mood and atmosphere. Now that I really like. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, in this video, I just want to have some fun, okay? I need to preface this video by saying I'm just having fun. This is just fun speculation. Don't take this literally or seriously, okay? But because of the, coincidences that sort of surround this this idea that I'm going to talk about, it's just fun to speculate. But in no way, shape, or form is this 100% true. Is this real? So if you think it's a cool kind of idea, don't go sharing it on social media as fact. Dave McRae said that I'm just speculating and having some fun, okay? But there's no quantifiable evidence really to this. I'm just having fun. Maybe in some alternate universe perhaps, but I think this is kind of interesting because it fits so well in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, for those of you that don't know, there are a number of people out there that believe they can see a face. Oh, there we are. There we go. A face in the knuckles of the fist on the original Halloween poster. Now, in my opinion, I can see what they're talking about. Absolutely. If I look at, I'm like, oh yeah, I could totally see what you perceive as a face. Do I believe it actually is a face? No, I think it's just a coincidence. I think it's just the shading and how the artist did the fist. It just so happened to look like that. So that's sort of where I stand. However, for those of you that believe it is a face and are trying to figure out whose face it could be, is it Michael's face? Is it Laurie's face? Is it Annie's face? Is it just some random, kind of face or whatever because of the whole Halloween scary movie shit? Here's some food for thought. So, as many of you know, I'm a big Black Christmas fan. Black Christmas is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. And the director of that movie was Bob Clark. And Bob Clark knew John Carpenter. And prior to Halloween, Bob Clark and John Carpenter were having a conversation because they were working on something together. I forget what it was, but I think they were beginning to move into production on something, or they were working on something. They had some ideas. And I'm paraphrasing this now. But according to Bob Clark, who's now dead, he's been dead for over 10 years. But according to Bob Clark a number of years ago, John Carpenter asked him at one point, are you ever going to do a sequel to Black Christmas? And Bob Clark was like, no, I don't think so. I mean, I'm kind of done with that. I want to go and do other things. And John Carpenter was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, if you ever did do a sequel, like what would you do? Like, how would you carry it on? This is like a casual, candid sort of conversation. And according to Bob Clark now, he said something to the effect of, oh, I don't know. I'd probably said it a year later. Billy would be in, a mental institution. He would escape out. He would escape, on Halloween. And I'd call the movie Halloween. Now, for those of you that don't know that story, you're probably thinking, what? Well, John Carpenter if that's true, then John Carpenter just literally ripped off Bob Clark's sequel idea to Black Christmas. Well, okay, hang on a second here. Not entirely. Even Bob Clark says there's a lot of things in the movie Halloween that are nowhere near to what he was going to do. And just because Carpenter used the idea of a mental institution doesn't necessarily mean that he took it from Bob Clark, because we all know John Carpenter's backstory to it as well. When he was in university, he did a tour of a mental institution, I believe, or something, where he saw a boy and this, that, and the other. Is there inspiration from Black Christmas and maybe a bit of Bob Clark's kind of idea? Sure, but it's not a beat for beat copy in any sense of the word. And even the name Halloween apparently was Irwin Yablon's idea, so it didn't come from Carpenter. But the truth is probably somewhere in the middle, right? Like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, or whatever the case is. However, there are those that believe that if that is true and you take it at face value, well, then that almost in some kind of neat, weird, alternate universe sort of way puts like Halloween as almost like an unofficial kind of sequel to Black Christmas. And then there are those that kind of dive deep into it. Well, what does it mean? Is Michael really Billy, or is he related to Billy? Or maybe, which there's no basis for it at all, but it's fun to speculate, right? Okay, so I was looking at the poster the other day because I was doing something, I forget what it was. And I was also doing my video a couple of days ago on the announcement that Blumhouse is going to be remaking Black Christmas. So I was looking at a few original images from Black Christmas. And there is probably the most iconic image outside of the eye, right, from that film of Black Christmas, which is the woman in the attic that has the bag over her head, right? And she's like this. Well, I'm looking at that image and I'm like, woo, that looks almost identical to the face in the knuckles on the pumpkin. For those of you that can see the face, let me bring it up here. Here is the pumpkin. All right, so there you go. There's the pumpkin right there. And there are a lot of people that say they can see a face in there. And then here is an image of the girl in Black Christmas with the bag over her head. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of similar, at least to me it is. And when you look at the veins in the hand on the Halloween poster, you could make an argument and say, you know what, those are the wrinkles of the bag that, are over the face. And I don't know, to me, I look at them side by side and I can totally see it. But of course, that does not mean that was the original intent. I mean, I understand that the poster artist, the man responsible for this image, is a man by the name of Robert Gleason. And he at one point came out and said, wow, I must have, drawn the face without even realizing it. Well, I think that's Robert's way of, trying to have his cake and eat it too, and trying to preserve sort of the mystique and mystery and, of this poster. I don't believe there was any sort of, subconscious subliminal messaging going on that sort of, came to Robert, unknowingly as he was drawing this image. I think it just really all happened to fall by way of coincidence because of where he concentrated the light and shadow on the fist and the knuckles. And at the end of the day, you can look at it from a certain perspective and go, wow, it actually kind of looks like a face. And he sort of fell ass backwards into the fact that, wow, that actually works because of the subject matter of the movie. So that's my belief on it. But for the, conspiracy theorists out there and the people that love to speculate and dive into this kind of thing, you could say, well, maybe that's Claire. Maybe the face on the fist, it's Claire's face, right? And it's paying homage to, the original film in the series, which is, Black Christmas. It's kind of fun. And then when you layer them on top of each other, it's like, oh, I can kind of see it a little bit. And there's no doubt for people who actually buy into this theory that Halloween could on some sort of level be a sequel to Black Christmas. Well, there you go. Maybe the face on the knuckles, it isn't Michael Myers, because obviously it doesn't look anything like him. It doesn't look anything like Laurie, but it certainly looks like the way the nose is and the way the mouth is slightly open and the eye up there. Yeah, I'm thinking it looks like this chick with the bag over her head in the attic that nobody ever found in Black Christmas. That's what I'm thinking. And maybe that's a callback to Black Christmas right there. So, hey, knock yourselves out, speculate until your heart's content, put the theories out there. If you're going to share this on social media, though, for Christ's sakes, don't share it as fact. This is just fun, guys, okay? This is just fun. I don't believe at all that this is actually the girl's face from Black Christmas. I think it's just a coincidence that the shading that the artist did happen to look like that. But I think it's really, it's kind of like, that just gives some, food for thought for those who like to make the Black Christmas Halloween connection, in my opinion anyway. I think this is fun. Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Do you think that the face of Claire from Black Christmas is really the face on the fist right there? I don't know. It looks, when I look at that, I totally can see it. I don't know about you guys, but I can totally see her face when she's like that. Little bit of calling back to the original film in the series. Knock yourself out. Speculate till your heart's content. Anyway, comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdave McRae. That's where I tend to post in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here. All the links are in the description. So yeah, I guess until next time, as Jerry Springer would say, take care of yourselves and each other. I'm not going to start doing that. Anyways, yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.